Hey, what's up, everybody? It's Monday, August 22nd. It's the sixth last Scholars Leaderboard of the month. I'm doing kind of okay in the leaderboard right now. I'm in 13th place with a decent amount of points, and just clawed my way back into contention here with the series of hero calls slash traps. I'll get to that after this hand. I have a nemesis, by the way. It's right here. Shaz White from Brazil. He three-outed me earlier, and then I just trapped him a few hands ago. I'll show you that right now. So here's the start of the rivalry a few hands ago. I, excuse me, I open from the button with ace queen, get called, big blind folds. Flop comes queen high, and he checks to me. I put out a pretty standard c bet for me. And then he check raises very large, as you can see, leaving himself almost nothing behind. I put the rest in, figuring that he did this with a like a smaller top pair, and possibly a flush draw. He ends up calling, and he has queen jack, and then instantly hits a jack and wins a huge pot, thus denying me the overall chip lead and smacking me down to 20 big blinds. So that last hand with the ace queen ace jack, that was the last hand before break, which it's a good thing that it happened before break in a way, because I was pretty tilted by it. I was really looking forward to winning that pot and potentially taking over the tournament. Obviously that didn't happen. So here we go, about maybe 8 hands later, and I open with pocket jacks, get called. Flop comes queen high with rags, and I checked it intending to just kind of get more information. And then he bet 921 into 4,000, which, from what I've seen from this player, screamed absolute bluff to me. I was thinking something along the lines of ace 6, king 10, something like that. And so it was on the flop that I decided I was calling all streets, and I was going to check call to induce bluffs all the way down, assuming that scare cards didn't show up within the ranges of the hands I thought he had. So I check call the flop, turn comes 8, that's a brick to me. I check again. He once again leads small, which to me confirms my flop read. I call again. River pairs the board with a 4, and I'm decided at this point that I am checking to call all in immediately. I check, he bets the rest of my stack, and I do in fact snap it off. And as you'll see as I show the hand, he shows king jack high for nothing. And so I got the chips back on a pretty good read, in my opinion. Trapping with an underpair, that's not really something I normally do, but I was really confident in my read in that spot. So, that said, I once again have just over 20 big blinds, and, blinds are going up pretty fast here. And I figured, if I'm going to blow up in this thing, I might as well show you guys. It feels like I'm either going to final table this thing or just fizzle out and not even make the money. So, either way, it's going to be a fairly short recording. And I'm kind of sort of still on tilt for my 8th out of 2,600 finish the other day. So, this tournament is the most important tournament of the week for me. There are 2 more tomorrow and the day after on Tuesday and Wednesday. But I don't want to wait till the last minute to book points in this thing. I would really, really like to final table today and get a nice cushion and guarantee myself a pretty decent payout at the end of the month, because that will make a huge difference in this challenge right now. And it could potentially even end the challenge within like a month and a half and have me winning a couple $1,000 fairly easily, given my road so far. But anyway, in between me and that accomplishment, I do have to get through this table, which has been pretty challenging, I'd say. Not only do I have this guy on my left who's fairly active and is a bit of an idiot from what I've seen, but he's nevertheless dangerous. So obviously, I have to, take steps to practice avoidance and try to, avoid being all in more than anything. And here we have my nemesis hand from the final table in that KO the other day. Hopefully, I don't get the same result. If Prum shoves, I'm probably just gonna muck it. But against that big blind, I feel I have to try to steal. Shaz White, by the way, has been re-raising me quite a bit. I'm not sure what I would have done if he'd done it there. I'm snapping the big blind if he jams, of course, but I'm happy with that result as well. So yeah, 27th place right now. I'll show you my chip graph here. I have been all in 1 time in this tournament. However, it was with aces against 8s and 6s. It was a 3-way all in where 2 players limped to me in the big blind and I had black aces. I raised to pretty huge for me anyway, 645 at the 75 150 level with about 5,000 in my stack. And the under the gun limper immediately shoved for 7,000, and the other limper immediately called all in for around the same thing with more chips than me. And needless to say, I called all in with aces, and they showed red eights and two sixes. And the flop came Queen Jack 10 all spades, giving me a massive advantage, leaving them with three outs combined. And, so that was pretty sweet. Obviously, they didn't hit. The board bricked out. And, so I won a huge pot up to 14,000. That put me in the chip lead at that time. That was this spike right here. That's when that happened. And you can see, besides that, it's been pretty good. I maintained the lead for a little bit. I was bouncing in and out of it. And this was the ace queen hand, and then I got it back with the jack. So I've been above average for most of the tournament. I've felt pretty comfortable. I've been reading fairly well. There haven't been many difficult spots so far, although the ones I have faced, I've made good decisions. And I've made a couple big folds too. I folded pocket eights and king jack offsuit for shoves that were fairly small, but there was action behind. And in both cases, not only did I not have the best hand, but I also would not have won the pot. So I feel pretty good about those decisions. I'd rather not put 5,000 in, against these shorter stacks, but I'm also not going to pussyfoot my way into the money here. I need a decent finish. I don't need it, I guess. Even cashing would be a decent number of points. But I am very much interested in running deeper than just the cash. I'm going to try a little steal here, see if the original raiser has anything. Hopefully it's like ace 5 and he just gives up. But he doesn't. And the door's open if Prum raises. That's a pretty above average turn card. Definitely doesn't look like I hit that, so I'm pretty stoked about it. Hopefully it doesn't have hearts or open-ended or something. I guess King Jack would be okay. But I feel my hand was super camouflaged there. I thought he might have had a 10. I guess not. But it's getting pretty dicey though. I mean, hands like this on the bubble. Not to say that I don't care about a min cash. I care about the points here more than anything. And if money comes along with those points, then yay for me. But I'm really looking to avoid being all in more than anything, which is why I'm 3-betting here to isolate. All right, looking back, maybe I, wish I didn't isolate, but, it's easy when you know what's going to come. I'm expecting playback from Shaz White quite a bit, so hopefully I'm wrong and that doesn't happen. Yeah, I continue to be shocked that he's not playing back at me from the blinds. Sure. Aw. Do it. Nice. 60-40 with the bigger stack, man. That's how we chip up. So yeah, not a bad little spike there. Up to 7th place with 30 big blinds, 35 big blinds. Can't complain. I've opened so many hands recently. I'm gonna try to mix it up and test the table with a limp, see how that goes. Headhunt, or Headhunt is this guy. He's been on a pretty decent downswing. We're now 16 minutes after the break, and he went into the break with about 17,000. So, he's whittling down. I'm sure he's gonna get sick of it pretty soon. Hopefully that doesn't occur against me. I'm kind of tempted to take a freebie here, but just in case there's like a 4 of clubs out there, I don't really want to act super weak. I'd rather get a bit of information, even if I have to fold. 10 players away from the money now, so hopefully there's a little bit of hesitation among those at the bottom. Not a lot of tanking too, I have to say. This excuse me, this tournament is just, as I've, been raging about in previous videos when I've recorded, I've complained very aggressively and really emphatically about how much I hate the stalling that has taken place in this tournament quite routinely. And in this one, it's been okay. There hasn't been excessive stalling. I mean, Melcan right now seems to be doing it a little bit, but it's at least not four players simultaneously. Excuse me, I need some water. But yeah, feeling pretty good, I guess, about my rip here. Let's look at the old chip graph. Yeah, that's a good, pretty nice little rise up. Feeling good about my position in the tournament. I'm not super stoked about my chip stack, but after we get in the money, assuming I'm there, that's when things get really sporty, and that's when it becomes exceedingly dangerous. That's when like the shorties, the people with 5, 6, 10,000, that's when they really start shoving aggressively. So there's a lot of gamble that could potentially take place once we get down to 77 players. And I'm really hoping to be able to avoid that safely. And normally this is a raise for me. I think it might be anyway. But I feel like I've been saying it for a while. I feel like this has got to be the spot where Shaz White. No, he doesn't do it. After losing, getting caught on a bluff, I figured that was the time where he might make a stand, but I guess not. Yeah, this is not the kind of hand I want on the bubble. In fact, you know what? Let's limp a bit. See what the reaction is. I don't mind a min raise at all. See, yeah, that's the kind of thing I wanted to avoid. Because, if I make it 1674 and then Shaz calls and then the big blind does that, or the small blind does that anyway, then I'm losing more. So, it's a bit nitty of me not to open, but whatever. I don't mind that much. It is the bubble, the money bubble, so I have to give people a little bit more credit. We're 6 spots from the money, and the money's significant for a lot of people, so yeah, that sucks. Looks like I'm going to have to fold again, but I hate folding a hand like this. I would have called the 62. It's the second jam in a row for the guy on the button. Jacks, kings. Okay, good. Nice. I lose both. So I guess, yeah, that was an accurate observation. And I'm pretty sure I'm just going to blast it. I think I want to punish this guy for his 3-outer earlier. He's been opening pretty wide. Min opening pretty wide, so I feel it's safe to conclude that my hand is best a pretty huge percentage of the time. So I'm going to put the screws to him right now. Yeah, felt like a safe jam. So 30 big blinds now. Getting there. And bubble should be burst pretty soon. Shouldn't be much longer. But you can see how, nobody's really comfortable in this thing at this stage. I've noticed that about this tournament. This will be my 4th cash if I make it. And, oh shit, what a sick flop. Queen. Oh yeah, that works too. Nice. But yeah, nobody's really comfortable at this stage. I notice like everything just kind of squeezes at this point. It becomes half-ass deep later, but for now, at this particular moment, it's pretty dodgy. I mean, 30 big blinds is comfortable. Even 15 big blinds is not that bad, or at least not bad relative to the rest of the field. But of course, it's not that easy to play a 15 big blind stack. So, who knows how it plays out. I am calling if this guy squeezes and he folds, by the way. If it folds to me, I'm putting the rest in. It may be a bit loose and gambly of me, but I feel if there's one guy at the table who isn't really tightening up due to the money, it's this guy, and I also want revenge, so I'll take my chances. Could be like ace-6 for all I know. It was a pretty decent squeeze spot. He might be slow rolling with kings, though. This guy's a bit of an ass. I guess we'll find out in a second. I have to imagine he's just tanking for the bubble. I'd love for him to have kings and just flop an ace. Just ruin his dreams. Forgive my vendetta attitude, but look how tight I've been playing too. 26% flop scene. That's the whole tournament. I bought in on level 2. So there's only 103 hands between, the first 5 minutes of the tournament and the money bubble. Oh, free roll. Chop. That's a lot more than I was expecting. I thought, there was a good chance he was doing that with like ace 9, ace 6, something like that. So I'm actually kind of surprised to see it that strong. I thought if anything it would be like kings or ace 6. Same position. I wonder if he just picked up a good one this time. I don't really know what to think here, to be honest. But I'm not going to be folding. Hold. Nice. Fuck you, buddy. Oh, he's in the money. Damn it. I was hoping I'd bubble that guy. I guess that's why he blasted it off. So you can kind of see what I was saying earlier. In that once you get in the money, it's like just free for all, people jamming. King 10 offsuit, making moves. And sticking it in there with ace 10 is even pretty loose. I didn't even realize we were in the money. So that was a fail on my part. In that I didn't realize we'd already secured a payout. So people are likely to be looser. I thought I was actually putting him at risk on the bubble. Which I wasn't. But in any case, up to 47 big blinds, feeling a little bit more comfortable. I can't complain. I mean, you got $3 coming to me and free roll for the rest. So I like my situation. My chip grass probably looking kind of sexy too. Yeah. Meanwhile, this dude, Brazilian guy in first. Yeah, he must have like tripled up on hand number 3 or something by the looks of it. Dead. Almost. And yeah, that looks good enough for me, boys. No, not good enough for that. I would have called that if the big blind did it. But this guy just got to our table. I don't know anything about him. I guess it's a bit of a tight fold, but 11-4 to win 18-3 is not a good enough proposition for me. I don't like the idea of chipping them up that much, but better that than a full double. I think I might go for a quick smoke actually here pretty soon. Just kind of let the craziness calm down a little. My stack will get smaller relatively, but I think it's worth it. Mr. G is somebody who has been at the same table as me for a while. You can see I don't have any notes on him right now, but he's been playing pretty tight. So I'm going to go ahead and call with King 10 offsuit because that's a great way to deal with a guy who's playing tight, right? Orphan flop. I feel a check raise might have been smarter here. And I think I'm getting called by an ace. So I might check jam and try to get him off an ace. He might have been counterfeited as well. Yeah, I think that's weak enough that I'm going to try to rep a queen. There's a big pot out there. It's worth it. If I'm wrong, I lose 14, and I'm still kind of comfortable. But I wasn't wrong, so that's cool. So yeah, perfect time to go for a smoke. That guy raises, so yep, sit out next hand, and I'll be back in a bit. I only missed one hand. That's nice. Forgive the ice in a bottle sounds. So yeah, nice little comeback from 8,000 with that 3 outer there. That really hurt me, I have to say. The ace queen against queen jack. I felt like that was my chance to really, put some bubble pressure on, and I ended up missing that opportunity because I didn't really have the stack to do it. And I've been playing tight like for most of the tournament. In the first 25 hands, my flop scene was over 50%. But since then, I've really tightened up. Like I said, I folded pocket eights and king jack before the flop to one raise. And for me, anyway, like not to say that I care about hands, but that's really tight for me in a six max, and especially a short stack six max. We start with 3,000 in this tournament, and the blinds are 5 minutes, and the structure is not particularly slow. It is medium. It's not fast, but it's also not slow. So to be folding those hands is pretty tight, I'd say. But like I said, I mean, I've got first place on the brain right now. If I can manage to win this tournament, I'm putting myself in massive shape to take home some kind of really significant prize on the leaderboard. So that's all I care about right now. I don't care about if I bust next or if I bust fourth. I don't care. I mean, fourth. The points do matter. Let me rephrase. The points are plan A. Like that's the most important thing to me. But winning is what's going to put me in first place, or so I expect. If not first, then very close to it. Aw, boo. Damn. Hmm. Ooh, actually, yeah, this isn't a bad stack setup. Yeah, this is actually pretty good for so far, anyway, it looks like. Got at least one Brazilian here. Oh, Philippines. Never mind. How many Brazilians? 2 Brazil, 1 Argentina. Not to discriminate, but Brazil has a tendency to be, I wouldn't say dead money, but they're the new USA slash Russia. Ah, another winner. I wonder how Magic did. Looks like he busted. Wow, down here. This guy was doing well early on. He's the guy who beat me heads up the one time I made it heads up in this thing. So I've been keeping an eye on him. I'll bring up the Scholars leaderboard either at the break or the end of the tournament, so you'll be able to see where I'm at. Oh, man. I don't know how I would have got in there, but that would have been sick. Yeah, actually, come to think of it, I was busy talking. Pretty sure that was a button limp. Oh no, min raise. And then what? Check, check. He checked with an ace. He slow plays with ace king to make sure he gets paid. But just risk taking the pot. In fact, why would you not want to take the pot with 260 left? Pretty good hand for seeing a flop for that price, I'd say. About 3.8 to 1 so far. I feel like there's a decent amount of implied odds there. Hopefully nobody jams before me. Heads up out of position with 9 high. What more do you want from life? Yeah, that's... I'm feeling check raise is probably the best option. But I kind of don't want to give him the chance to bet 7,900. And he does bet half pot. I'm going to try floating. That's a bad card for floating. Alright, that's a good card for repping. Nice. I was a bit scared about the king. He could have easily had like king 9, but when the spade hits, I feel like I can't wait longer than that to try. checking 9 high on the river didn't seem like the greatest idea. But yeah, chipping up slowly, safely. This is how I like to do it. Oh, super dead. I'm glad to see this guy losing chips. Balancing everybody out. The only one I really have to worry about is Pau Paulo. And I'm expecting a jam from the small blind, so I'm not going to try here. Yeah, I'll probably go get a glass so that's not so loud. Yeah, it's not slow, it's not fast. It's like in between. 16, 18, 2, 24. Pretty consistent. It really, yeah, that's when it really slows down. That's what I remember is, the 7.2, 8, 9, 10. Those four levels, I mean, that's when things get deeper at the end. So, needless to say, I'd love to get there. I'd love to just win. Yeah, this is exactly, either side of this is the kind of thing I want to stay away from. I don't want to be involved in pots like that with either of those hands. Although that result was pretty good for me because now it reduces my max damage to 30,000, which means if I completely fuck up, I'm still left with 27, which is pretty playable. So I definitely love my chip position at this table versus everybody else. And of course, busting anybody would be pretty strong. Once again, by the way, I was watching TV for the first part of this tournament. I was watching Parks and Recreation again, and I quit that in order to record audio here. And whenever I do that, whenever I change any circumstance in which I'm succeeding, I feel nervous about just changing stuff. I was succeeding watching TV. When I take it away and start talking to myself instead, it sometimes gets dicey. The last couple tournaments it hasn't, but I always feel nervous that it will. And I wonder what the hell this guy's waiting for. Oh yeah, it's a money bubble. Oh, there's a guy with 648. That's what he's waiting for. He's trying to outlast this other guy. Oh, he did it. Nice. Okay, it's safe to call. Okay, go. Okay, what are you doing? Let's go. Even another guy busted. Ukrainians are falling. Holy fuck, man. Yeah, ace jack. I so don't hope a jack comes just for that tank. Ah, he didn't deserve that. He deserved to go broke there. I kind of hope he jams again. Or does something. 6,000 open shove and then folds to me. Oh, never mind. That plan is ruined. Yeah, this is tight, but I'm going to practice avoidance on this one. I might regret it. Nope. I was tentatively planning on calling the open raise. In fact, let's get some information there. Oh, excuse me. Break in 15 minutes. I swear, the more turbo a tournament is, the more breaks I need. Every so much stack movement, I need to just go outside, stretch, have a smoke, wiggle around a little bit. And in these turbos, it doesn't take much for stack movement to occur. So in a hyper turbo, that's the worst. Sometimes I take 3 breaks an hour. 2 of them I'm unscheduled, of course. And I really like that jam there from the big blind. It's good to see. I don't mind a button shove, but I don't think I want playback from anybody else. Says Captain Obvious. Yeah, that's a good result. Uh-oh. An even stack just sat down over here. And he's Brazilian too. That could be trouble. He's right below me in the rankings. That could be a problem. It definitely changes the way I'm going to approach this table. Ah, man. Try to spike one. 4-1. Yeah, lots of pairs could be good. Damn. Looks like a check fold. If it was king 6 queen, I don't even know if I would do anything. Alright, I guess I'll take my chances. If he was slow playing, then good job, bud. But I'm hoping it's ace 4. Or some kind of raggedy ace. Even ace 10. I'd be okay with that. Ace 10 he probably calls. Yeah, ace jack. Nice. Thanks for the freebie. It's what it kind of felt like ace high. I know I didn't call it in the moment, but I don't know. What do you guys think? Raise pre-flop and then check a king queen 5 flop. Oh man. Ah, that John guy, he's pretty sporty. Oh, excuse me. It was a bit of an early day today and a late night last night. Yeah, I really need to get a glass here. I'm going to fold and go get a glass. All right. Oh, I fold the winner? Nope, set of 10s. God, Brazil has 108 now. Chip lead, almost. Nah, I'm going to stay away from you for now. I need to see how that happened, though. Open shove, reshove, re-reshove. And then jacks, 10s, ace 10. 10's good. One outer. Ah, Brazil. What about this guy? Or no, he's dead. Well, down to 37. A couple spots from another pay jump. That's okay. Adds to the consolation money if I don't get my way in this tournament. No, thank you. Return to sender. This table is becoming action-y a little bit. John is obviously a little bit spewy. John ES 1992 there, the guy to my left. Seems like the kind of guy that's going to go crazy with second pair and just get caught. Potentially right now. Oh, the nuts. Dirty. Not sure how I feel about that development. I don't think I love it. He's crazy but dangerous. People willing to put it in. As I say many times, you know, it doesn't matter if they don't survive. It matters if they cause you to not survive. Ah, damn it. There's such a high potential of overshoving right now that this is a bit gluttonous of me, especially with that guy in the small blind, but now I don't really care. Oh, wow. 8 ball. Something. Ah. Good time for aces, man. He didn't have many hands more to wait for it. I'm glad they got dealt there and not anywhere else, because I wouldn't have even seen the flop if they got dealt somewhere else, I don't think. It's cool that I at least had a 5 outer with 1 card to go. Yeah, I'd like to see these guys go to war. I want only one of them to be there. I can deal with one player like that, but 2 of them that are really high action and like to, you know, bloat pots early on, I find it hard to deal with. I get chopped up too often. Insta lead half pot. Feels pretty bluffy from what I can tell. Damn it. Ah. Well, I'm going to get some information out of it. Oh, man. Really? Oh, brutal. You can't wait till the flop, guys? Oh, man. That sucks. I mean, he had a real hand. I can't, there's no blame there, but... we'll call him two big stacks. Yeah, that was unfortunate. I don't know how... I mean, I would have been scared as shit getting it in with bottom two on that flop, but I don't think I could have justified a fold. I probably would have put one of them on, like, over pair with one diamond and the other on just the nut diamond. And just disgustedly called it, put the rest in. So I think I'm going to tighten up a little bit here and try to avoid John and hope for a table change where I can have a bit more of a dominant chip position and not have the chip leader directly to my left. Let's look at John's chip graph. Yeah, so he's been multiple dips below average. Based on this chart too, we can deduce a few things. I'll just wait for this hand to be over. Oh my god, really? Club? Oh, that works. Nice. Yeah, so this dip and then spike back up, and then this dip and spike back up. This tells me that John does not take losses very well. That's what I'm deducing from this graph. Of course, I could be wrong. It could just be a coincidence that he got big hands shortly after losing. But what this shows to me, I think, is that he's not one to take a loss very well, and he's more likely to loosen up following a big drop in his stack. So what that means for me is if I can take a significant piece out of him, or if somebody else does, he's likely to put the rest in. Like, it's a lot of follow-up aggression after a loss. And, you've seen his entire rise up from that Queen 9 to present. So he hasn't really done anything really suicidal since that Queen 9. But he definitely seems like an action guy. So, I'd rather stick to picking on the less action people. Like Axo, who just continuously picks up exactly the right hand when I'm raising. And that was kind of a weird play, too. If I remember... Let me actually just check. Oops. No, the one before. Yeah, he was first to act. So he flopped top two pair and had 4,000 left with like 10 in the middle and opted to slow play his top two, which is fairly interesting. It's definitely asking for it. He must be new to this tournament because, you start doing that shit, you're going to get rivered and turned and outdrawn in general. Not liking the prospect of a jam right now. Yeah, that sucks. Don't know much about this guy. I'd be left pretty short if I called, and it's only 1.5 to 1, so bye-bye bachelor hand. It's unfortunate, though, because it really hurts my image a bit to be opening and then folding. Seems like I should be expecting a lot of that, just shoving before the flop. It's only 12 and 2,400, and these guys are willing to put a lot of money in with what I have to assume are not premium hands. So, note to self, pay attention to Nico V. Lopez. In any case, the points are racking up here. I mean, top 27 out of 403, that should be good for a decent chunk, maybe 30 points or something, which is not huge, but it's significant. And, I'm not out yet, so seems likely that I'll be getting another pay bump shortly. of $1.31. Let's go, buddy. I got the snap call ready. Maybe he'll slow play. Oh my god, hurry the fuck up, man. Really? I'll take it. Oh, nice. John went away. That's good. Now I have a better chance of gaining some control here. I think I'm a bit more likely to gamble against the 26 or less thousand chip stacks. The only one I don't want to face right now is Nico. I'm going to be avoiding him as best I can. Interesting that this guy came back. Yeah, this guy sucks. I don't have a lot of respect for his game. I probably should have just made it a bit more there, so as not to entice a shove. Or induce a shove. But yeah, not looking too bad here. I'm okay with my spot. I haven't really chipped up in a while. It's been yeah, we're approaching the average now. Let's actually delete that. So getting close to the average for the first time in a while. You can see I bounced 3 times so far. Maybe 4 if you count here. I'd rather not tap it again, of course. Meanwhile, John is steamrolling whatever table he just got to. Diamond. 5. Damn. Uh-oh. New table again. Well, I'm in decent... I mean, given the stacks at the table, I can't ask for a better seat, really. Big ones to my right, small ones to my left, but nobody's really that small. There's a lot of medium stacks. I mean, look at the... What's the average here? The average is 50,000. I mean, that's 20 big blinds, and I'm really happy that we're at break. So, on the bubble for a pay jump, you know, 23, 24 big blinds. Can't complain. Oh, we're back. Yo, so I just got a text while I was out smoking. It was from John, who was formerly the leader in this challenge, but it's Monday, it's update time. And his text was, "I'm down to 189. I hate you, you suck. Check your inbox for the video." So he obviously lost some chips. He was at 340, and now he's down to 189. So that puts me in first place regardless of how I do in this one. I will be back in first place in the challenge, and I have yet to hear from the other guy who's still in, Max. He has not sent an update yet, so unless he went on a huge tear and made 1,000% gain in the last week, then I will be in first place in this challenge. So it's nice, because I did up my risk level to 1,000 overall, and, you know, I was really hoping that John wouldn't go on a tear and cost me a bunch. Yeah, I'll take a flop with King 5. Looks like a limper's flop, though. Play safe. I feel like a king's coming. Oh, got a pay bump. Up to 639. It's amazing how much you get in these things, you know. This is top 5% of the field, not even. And I'm looking at nearly 6 times my buy-in, which, you know, how can you complain about that? I had a bad day yesterday. Actually, the last 2 days were not that great. Ever since that final table there in the big one, I had 2 losing days that were kind of costly. Oh yeah, I made a withdrawal too. I should probably note that. I withdrew $33 American from my account. I miscalculated a little bit. I tried to leave myself with 120 Canadian behind in it, like available for reloads, and I kind of screwed up the math, and I ended up leaving myself with less. But in any case, I withdrew $33 from my account, and so I'm down to. I started the day with 189 today in my account. And I really don't want to get squeezed. Man, this is tight, but what are you going to do? I don't know this table yet. I probably should have looked at the country of the opening raiser. Brazil. Ace 9 has got to be a favorite over Brazil. This is the time to get in position for the final table. I don't really want to make, I don't want to get in there with Ace 9, have it come Ace high, and just get stacked by a guy with Ace Jack or something. That's like the most embarrassing thing I could do to myself right now, I think. I don't mind going out on a flip or, a 60-40, but I really don't want to get it in crushed. Especially not after the flop. Below average. Uh-oh. Fizzling away here. Meanwhile, John is just running away. 200,000. Yeah, this is a dicey hand with this stack against these players. It's definitely a hand I like to play. Suited king. Connected suited king. I feel like, I know it's, excuse me, it's just an illusion, but I feel like when I have King 10, a huge percentage of the time, the flop just comes like 10-4 deuce. Sometimes it's good, sometimes it's not, but I feel like I flop top pair a lot with this hand, and it's frequently not the king. So, yeah, just rooting against an open shove right now. Yeah, I'll put in a raise. Maybe end it now, if not, position with the lead. That's fine. I don't mind that. Actually, you know what? Jack 7, really? 14? Yeah, okay. I feel like I'm wasting 1,400 though. Yeah, just no man's land with Jack 7. I suppose I could check raise if this guy bets, but I feel there's too many baby aces in the possibilities. Take a small stab here. Hopefully don't get called down by a queen. Good to see. Oh, John's back into my direct left again. Fuck. At least he's not in this hand, because I wouldn't want to play nines against John right now. 200,000, man. It'll be dangerous and risky, but in the event that I could actually double up or take a big chunk out of John with my current stack, I feel like the rest of his chips are really loose. They're not going to be. It's not going to take much to get the rest in. And I'm going to pot control a little bit here. I intend to bluff catch. I don't particularly believe that's a king. And that's a pretty safe looking river unless he's got backdoor clubs. I feel like I'm winning right now. Yeah. I'd rather have the information. Slowly but surely. And we've got another money bubble in effect. Hey, I'm the last remaining Canadian. Whoa, by a long shot. 38th. What a fold. I'm open-ended, but still. I'm glad to not be involved. Uh-oh. Actual open-ended. So expensive. I don't really want to see the river right now. Okay, good. I'll tell myself that it was a brick. Yeah, John. Damn it. I feel like I'm going to need a big hand, and even when if and when I get it, I feel like I'm going to misplay it and just be scared and over raise and, play it to minimum value. Minimum risk, but minimum value against John. I hate having him on my left. It's a real bummer that's where he sat down. But I don't think I've been all in since we started recording. My memory's fading a little bit. But I'm pretty sure that I have not been at risk since I started recording. The last time I was at risk in my mind right now was with those jacks when I bluff catched 3 streets against that guy who finished on the bubble, or close to the bubble, who min cashed in 75th, I think. Get the snap call ready. Nope, snap call not required. Cool. Yo, 86,000 at 1632. That's not the worst. I mean, even if the blinds were 3 and 6,000, this wouldn't be the worst either. So I feel like, right now I'm basically just trying to talk my way out of playing a lot of hands. Just chatting to myself, hoping that I don't get too frisky. It's been going pretty well lately. Haven't had too many difficult spots. The nines there, the other hand, was about as tough as it's been. And I'm pretty sure John is using hotkeys to open, because that's the second 70-40 at this level. Man, he's so comfortable right now. I'm so jealous. 220,000 at this level. I mean, that's a lot in this tournament. Yeah. I felt I had to test him with a limp there to see how he reacts. I don't really have a read on what that was, obviously. I mean, it could have been anything, but I'm leaning towards thinking that could have been just king 5, trying to end the hand. Sense weakness and pouncing on it. 4.856. Yeah, so the blinds are really going to slow down here, which is good because it gives me more play. Yep, that looks pretty good to me. Ooh, interesting call there. I'm going to have to blast. Aw. Yeah, I don't think I'm folding. I'm going to leave the door open, just in case the button shoves. And he doesn't. That's interesting. Whatever, hopefully he doesn't have an ace. Be a tough call with most other hands. So good to see I didn't have to hit that one. I feel like a queen or a 9 was probably good given his fold. I guess I will actually... Yeah, that was a... I did not really see that fold coming, I have to say. I thought I was going to have to make something there. I thought I wasn't really far behind when I bet the rest. But I also thought that he was going to call with like 6s or, any pair, basically. That said, I did feel like my queen and my 9 were most likely live, as well as the spades. Speaking of queens and spades... Oh shit, I just realized this raise is probably going to get exposed because of the small blind. Hopefully the small blind folds and tries to get an extra $2. That'd be so awesome. Oh shit. Now everybody knows I'm raising with queen 10. Oh, and I just realized he hit. That sucks. So gotta tighten up a bit. Queen 10's not exactly like a terrible hand. I'm sure a lot of people would open with that, but I'd rather that information not be known. Especially with 14 players left. Image is starting to matter. Oh, I can't wait to call this. Let's go set mining. Damn. There's so many bluffs that could be, but I just don't have a read. I was basically just set mining there. Nice. Nice. Oh, he hits a 10. Gross. I was just excited to not make the winner, but yeah, that works too. And I really don't feel compelled to balance my range with raises, with 9-5, because nobody's really seen much of what I'm doing. I haven't had a lot of showdowns, so basically all they've seen is queen 9 and 9s, or queen 10 and 9s. Kind of slipping on the board, though. There's a lot of people above 100 right now. Yeah, it's probably time to do the math, actually. Final table average is 172. That's quite substantially more than I have right now. I suppose this wouldn't be the worst spot ever to gamble. Not on necessarily on this hand, I just mean in general. Like even right now. This guy's limped pretty light. That's my note on him, is limping light. So I feel that there's no folding this hand on the flop for me, for sure. But if he check raises all in, I'm snapping. That's for sure. Super confident that was good. It's a really tight race below third place right now, though. One of these days, I don't know. I don't know if that's. I feel like if I got aces in the small blind and I limp, like that'll be the time he checks back. But I feel like it probably is the right play to limp if ever I get a real monster. You motherfucker. I mean, he can't be getting all these hands. Here comes the shove. No. What the fuck? I don't know what to make of this. I might have fucked it up by not 4-bet jamming before the flop. I don't know. I felt like I don't know. I really didn't play that hand well. That was definitely a mistake. One way or another, that was a mistake. Yeah, I'm gonna be thinking about that one. Oh man, it sucks when the shit hands are the ones that click. Interesting that he just calls with ace jack. So that's valuable information. I feel that makes my ace 8 play even worse. Because I think that a lot of these 3-bets coming out of John are like queen jack offsuit, pocket fours, shit like that. So, yeah. My next open, basically here, I think maybe. Against him specifically, I'm not going to tolerate much. Or Mr. G or the big blind. Against this guy, I think I can do better than this. I can't possibly be in great shape. It's unfortunate, but I'm gonna fold. Fuck's sakes. Getting pretty tired. God, I keep thinking about that ace 8. And there's no way I'm folding this hand pre-flop, so good luck, me. Ah! Ah! Fuck, man. How do you do it? I felt it coming. I tried to stay quiet so that I didn't tempt the gods. Fuck, man. It's so brutal. I'm not in the mood to bubble another one of these final tables. I finished 11th not long ago in one of these. Actually, it was last Monday, exactly a week ago. I finished 11th out of 400 something. I'd rather not repeat that. God, I feel like the gods punish me for misplaying that ace 8 so badly. I probably should have shoved before the flop, if anything. Shove or fold before the flop. Wow. This guy's on fire. Well over double second place. Almost 2.5. Hopefully Azzy Mazzy loses so that at least I get another couple bucks if I end up busting before the final. And I do. Anyway, last time I finished 11th, the points I got were not too bad. It was like 35 or 40 or something. Right now, I believe I have 238. Yeah, that's the one. Good luck, me. Hopefully John takes a hand off. Nope. Actually, I guess this isn't bad either if the small blind or big blind folds. Yeah, I'll take it. That sucks. Yes. Wow. 5-outer in the back door. Wow. God, that was uncomfortable. Oh. Blah. I want to throw up. I'm tempted to walk away right now. Like, I'm not in the zone. I'm in a bad place right now mentally. And I bet you Freak Energy's in a bad place mentally after that too. Ugh, I feel sick. Yeah, that's not a comfortable spot. The last time I was all in, it was a lot more comfortable than that. Aces against eights and sixes. I mean, it started out okay. Queen 10 against ace, whatever. 60-40. Sure, I'll be on the shitty end of 60-40. I don't mind. But to have it come ace right away with one diamond. Can't complain about the result, of course. I'm actually not far off decent finish. And there goes another one. So, you know, it's not impossible for good things to happen, says the guy as he picks up aces. Throwables. Nobody's paying attention to that. I definitely should have made it 97 something. Hopefully this guy's a bit tilty. Yeah, I don't mind that either. I kind of would have preferred a jam, but you know, that's the first step to going broke is getting all in. It wouldn't have been quite all in, but it was close. Brazil is 1-2-3 right now. Somebody's got to put a stop to Brazil. Man, dead. It's too bad the ace didn't hold there. Walk, walk. Yeah, you just want a pot. You don't need to do anything. Okay, well, this is the hypothetical I talked about a while ago. If everybody limps, I guess I have to do the same. I mean, I'll take the risk. And of course, you know, he checks. Got to continue the story. Five-outer. Oh my god. Yes. Wow, that was so dodgy on the turn. Holy fuck. Whew. Man, that's two really sketchy hands against that guy to stay alive. Third all in of the tournament. And when we got it in, it was about 70-30, which is not super comfortable. God, 5 on the turn. It can't just be like a board pair other than the 8 to give him 2 outs left. No, it's got to open the door to another 8 outs. Oh, man. Spew. King high good. Wow. Now, I showed him that I limped with kings last hand. I don't know what to expect now. I guess I'm call folding. I'm not sure if there's a card in the deck that I want right now. Doesn't matter, but yeah. Yeah, I think I might go for a walk here. I know we're four-handed, and that's bad because the other table's five-handed. But I feel like I need to step away. It'll cost me quite a bit, though. Yeah, come to think of it, that's not a good idea. If anything, I'll go for a walk if I make the final table. Just instant half pot. I can't really get a solid read on John's betting patterns. What a sick comeback, though. His graph must be ridiculous. I'm not going to bother looking at it right now. I want to pay attention here, but it feels like his half pots are standard and don't mean anything. Feels like he might have baby ace right now. Or king 10. Queen 9. Any two diamonds. I kind of feel like that was a bluff from Mr. G. Like a desperate last barrel, trying to win 117 with a bet of 28. What the fuck? Yeah, you can take it, man. You could have just asked politely. Yeah, I'm gonna stay out of the way. I kind of want to. Oh man, that's brutal. I kind of want to be hand for hand so I can go for smoke and not get crushed. Cause yeah, that last two all ins, those were not comfortable all ins. Oh man, huge lead. Wow. Glad I stayed out of this one. That's got to be bluffy. King 9? Queen 10? It's a bit small. Looks like a hotkey too. 36 442, 110 430. 33% exactly. We'll see if I can attach some meaning to that hotkey. Oh, look at that. Look at that average bounce. Both sides, man. It never fails. Got a bounce here, almost a bounce there, and then tap the other side. Oh, dead. Oh, we're down to 8, hand for hand. Sweet. Get the old half smoke ready. And if I don't pick up a monster on the next hand, then I am going to take a quick 2-minute walk, shake myself up a little bit, and hopefully come back to some good news. Hopefully come back to at least 75,000. Sit out next hand, fold. Run back. Whoop. Oh yeah, tough guy. Watch, I come back to go broke. Oh, that's a pretty sick turn card. Oh my god, man, you can't be serious. Oh, that's so disgusting. Could he really have it? Like, I feel that he has to have a flush. But I have 37,000 left and there's fucking 2 million out there. And I'm definitely... Wait, Tiago? I mean, if I fold, it's final table, but I can't do it. And he does have it. Like, fuck! He had to have a flush, man. Ah, that's so sickening. He had to have it. Like, I'm an idiot, but I just can't fold there. Ah, man, that's infuriating. Fuck. Excuse my language. Fuck. Ugh, like I don't know, man. I should have maybe check called, but does he jams anyway on the river. Ugh. Did I get greedy? Should I have just check raised the flop? These are the questions I'm going to be asking myself for a while. So even though I never saw it, that is the final table, I guess. Yuck. Ugh. So it's a green day. Super bummed. Fuck's sakes. Is this, yeah, so there's no longer a red day. I'm going to switch that over. Ugh. Just sickening. Ah, that's so gross, man. Like, I don't know. I feel like I made possibly 1 to 3 mistakes on that last hand. I mean, right now I'm up 8.5% on the day. I'm back above $200. Blah blah blah. I'm gonna get a decent amount of points in the leaderboard. Speaking of which, here's the leaderboard. So I'm sitting right here in 13th with 259 points. With my finish today, I would expect that I jump up to about 8th place. But I still need more. Like that was my chance, man, and I fucked it up. God damn it. Ugh. Anyway, I don't want to talk about this. I'm just gonna go tilt somewhere else and do something else. So yeah, that's it for this recording. I'm first place in the challenge now. I don't know what the exact numbers are. I'll post that tomorrow. I'll be playing the Scholars Leaderboard tomorrow again, so hopefully I have something less embarrassing to report by then. But anyway, later, guys.